Hello, friend. Welcome back to this quiet corner of the cosmos, where the universe speaks in whispers, and the stars hold stories older than time itself. Tonight, we're going to drift together through the gentle currents of space, exploring the soft mysteries of distant worlds, ancient light, and the silent choreography of galaxies turning in the dark. There's nowhere you need to be right now, nothing you need to do. Just rest here with me and let the universe unfold around you like a blanket woven from starlight. If you'd like to support this journey, a gentle tap on the like button helps these stories reach others who need the quiet. And subscribing means you'll never miss a night under the stars. But truly, all that matters now is that you're here, breathing, safe. Let's begin. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Feel your body settling into this moment like a planet finding its orbit. The weight of the day begins to lift, drifting away like dust, leaving a comet's tail. All you need to do now is rest. The universe has been here for billions of years, patient and vast, and it will hold space for you tonight. You are cradled in the same cosmic fabric that holds galaxies together, and right now, in this moment, you are exactly where you need to be. Let the day fall quietly behind you. The stars are waiting. Did you know that light from distant stars takes so long to reach us that when you look up at the night sky, you're actually looking back in time? Imagine each star as a gentle messenger, carrying light across the empty dark for hundreds, thousands, even millions of years, just to reach your eyes tonight. You don't need to understand it all. Just let yourself drift with that light, traveling backward through time, soft and warm. The nearest star to Earth, besides our sun, is called Proxima Centauri. It's about 4 light years away, which means the light you would see from it tonight left that star 4 years ago. Picture that journey. Light streaming through the silent void, crossing distances so vast that even our fastest spacecraft would take tens of thousands of years to reach it. And yet, that light arrives softly, touching your world with the faintest glow, like a lullaby sung across the cosmos. Our sun is just one star among roughly 200 billion in the Milky Way galaxy, 200 billion points of light, each one burning with its own quiet fire. Imagine them as candles in a cathedral so large that sound itself could never cross it. Each flame flickering in the darkness, steady and patient. You are part of this too, made from the same elements, the same stardust. Let that connection hold you tonight. Stars are born in massive clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. These clouds collapse slowly under their own gravity, gathering themselves together like a breath being drawn in. Over millions of years, the center grows hotter and denser, until finally, fusion ignites, and a new star begins to shine. It's a slow miracle, a cosmic exhale, and it's happening somewhere in the universe right now, even as you rest here. The process of nuclear fusion turns hydrogen into helium deep inside a star's core, releasing energy that travels outward as light and heat. Think of it as the universe learning to glow from within, transforming simple elements into warmth, into brightness, into life. You don't need to hold on to this, just let it wash over you, gentle as morning light through a window. A single photon, a particle of light, created in the sun's core, can take tens of thousands of years just to reach the surface. Bouncing between atoms in the dense plasma like a traveler wandering through an endless forest. But once it breaks free, it races across space in just 8 minutes to reach Earth. Imagine that patience, that persistence, and let yourself rest in the same unhurried rhythm. Our sun is about halfway through its life. It's been shining for about 4.6 billion years, and it will continue for another 5 billion or so before it exhausts its fuel. There's no rush in the cosmos. Everything unfolds in its own time, vast and steady. You too can move through your days without hurry. Rest is part of the cycle. Sleep is where healing begins. When a star like our sun runs out of hydrogen fuel, it will swell into a red giant, growing so large that it might engulf the inner planets. Eventually, it will gently shed its outer layers into space, creating a glowing shell called a planetary nebula, leaving behind a small, hot core called a white dwarf. Even endings in the universe are beautiful, soft, surrounded by light. White dwarfs are incredibly dense. A teaspoon of white dwarf material would weigh as much as an elephant on Earth, but they're also peaceful, no longer burning fuel, just slowly cooling over trillions of years, glowing softly like embers in the dark. Imagine that kind of rest, deep, complete, eternal. You don't need to stay awake for any of this. The story will keep flowing, soft and endless, whether your eyes are open or closed. If sleep comes, let it come. You are safe here. Some stars are much larger than our sun. The biggest known star, Stephenson 2280, is so enormous that if you placed it where our sun is, its surface would extend beyond the orbit of Saturn. Imagine a sphere of light so vast that entire worlds could disappear inside it. And yet, even that giant star is just a flicker in the infinite dark. Let your worries shrink in the same way. Small, insignificant, fading into the night. Massive stars live fast and die young. While our sun will shine for 10 billion years, a star 50 times its mass might burn out in just a few million. They blaze brilliantly, pouring energy into space, and when their fuel runs out, they collapse in an instant, triggering one of the most powerful events in the universe, a supernova. Even in their ending, they give light, they give life. A supernova explosion can briefly outshine an entire galaxy, releasing as much energy in a few weeks as our sun will emit over its entire lifetime. Picture it, a single star, exploding into brilliance, scattering its elements across the void: carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, the building blocks of planets, oceans, and you. You are made from the remnants of stars that died long ago. You are the universe, remembering itself. After a supernova, what's left behind depends on the star's mass. Sometimes it's a neutron star, a dense, spinning core no wider than a city, but containing more mass than the sun. Neutron stars spin incredibly fast, some rotating hundreds of times per second, sending out beams of radiation like cosmic lighthouses. Let that rhythm lull you. Steady, eternal, turning in the dark. Some neutron stars are called pulsars because their beams sweep past Earth with perfect regularity, creating pulses of light we can detect. The first pulsar ever discovered was so precise that scientists briefly wondered if it might be a signal from an alien civilization. But no, it was just the universe, keeping time, breathing, spinning, constant as a heartbeat. If a dying star is massive enough, it collapses even further than a neutron star. It becomes a black hole, a region of space where gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. Black holes sound frightening, but they're not cosmic vacuum cleaners. They're simply places where space itself has been folded inward, where the rules of reality become soft and strange. Even the darkness has its own kind of beauty at the center of most galaxies, including our own Milky Way. There is a supermassive black hole, millions or even billions of times the mass of the sun. Ours is called Sagittarius A*, and it sits quietly at the heart of the galaxy, holding everything in a slow, elegant orbit. Think of it as the still point around which everything turns, the quiet center, a place of rest. Black holes don't pull things in from vast distances. If our sun suddenly became a black hole, which it won't, Earth would continue to orbit exactly as it does now, because the mass and gravity would remain the same. It's only close to a black hole, near the event horizon, that the pull becomes inescapable. You are far from any edge tonight. You are safe in your orbit. Let yourself drift. Some black holes are surrounded by disks of superheated gas and dust, spiraling inward and glowing so brightly they can be seen across the universe. These are called accretion disks, and they shine with light from matter being torn apart and heated to millions of degrees. Even in destruction, there is radiance. Even in chaos there is order. Let your thoughts drift like stars across a quiet sky. You don't need to remember any of this. Just let the words carry you, soft and slow, into the stillness. Between the stars, there's mostly emptiness. Vast stretches of space where particles are so sparse that you might travel millions of miles and encounter only a handful of atoms. But that emptiness isn't truly empty. It hums with faint energy, with the whisper of radiation left over from the Big Bang, with the invisible pull of dark matter. Even in the quiet, the universe is alive, and so are you even when you rest. Dark matter makes up about 85% of all matter in the universe, yet we can't see it, touch it, or directly detect it. We only know it's there because of the way it bends light and shapes galaxies. Imagine something so vast and so present, yet invisible, like the presence of calm itself, holding you without weight. You don't need to see it to trust it. Just rest. The universe is also filled with dark energy, a mysterious force that's causing the expansion of space to accelerate. Galaxies are drifting farther apart, carried by a tide we don't yet understand, like leaves floating on a stream that never ends. Let yourself be carried to new resistance. No struggle, just floating. When the universe began 13.8 billion years ago, in the Big Bang, it was unimaginably hot and dense, a tiny point containing all the energy and matter that would ever exist. Then, in an instant, it began to expand, and it's been expanding ever since, cooling as it grows, creating space for stars, planets, and you. You are the universe expanding into consciousness, breathing, wondering, resting in the first few minutes after the Big Bang. The universe was so hot that protons and neutrons fused into the lightest elements, mostly hydrogen and helium, with a trace of lithium. Everything else, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, was forged later inside stars. The very atoms in your body are starborn. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a part of it, woven into its story. About 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe cooled enough for atoms to form. And for the first time, light could travel freely through space. That light still exists today, stretched by the expansion of the universe into microwaves, a faint glow we call the cosmic microwave background. It's the oldest light in existence, a whisper from the beginning of time, still filling the universe like a memory. For hundreds of millions of years after that, the universe was dark. No stars, no galaxies, just hydrogen gas slowly gathering in the silence. Then gravity began to pull clouds together, and the first stars ignited, massive, blue, and short. Even in the darkest times, something was being born. Even in the silence, there was movement toward light. Those first stars, called population 3 stars, have never been directly observed. They lived and died before galaxies even formed, seeding the universe with heavier elements. They exist now only in theory, in models, in the atoms they left behind. Some things are known not by sight, but by the traces they leave, like peace, like rest, like the quiet you feel now. Galaxies began to form as gravity pulled gas and dark matter together into vast rotating structures. Our Milky Way galaxy is a barred spiral, with arms of stars sweeping outward from a central bulge, slowly spinning like a cosmic pinwheel. It takes the sun about 230 million years to complete one orbit around the galactic center, one cosmic year. If sleep comes, let it come. The universe will keep turning without you. The stars will keep shining. And when you wake, they'll still be there, patient and kind. The Milky Way is part of a small cluster of galaxies called the Local Group, which includes the Andromeda Galaxy, the Triangulum Galaxy, and about 80 smaller galaxies. We're all bound together by gravity, drifting through space as a family. You too are part of something larger, held, connected, never alone. The Andromeda Galaxy is about 2.5 million light-years away, and it's moving toward us. In about 5 billion years, Andromeda and the Milky Way will collide, merging into a single, larger galaxy. But don't worry, space is so vast that the stars themselves will likely never touch. It will be a slow, beautiful dance, not a crash. Galaxies come in many shapes, spirals, ellipticals, and some are flat and spinning, others are round and full of old stars, and some have no clear shape at all. Each one is a unique island of light in the dark, home to billions or even trillions of stars. Imagine them as cities in the night, distant, glowing, each with its own story. At the largest scales, galaxies aren't scattered randomly. They form clusters, and clusters form superclusters connected by vast filaments of dark matter and gas. Between these filaments are enormous voids, regions where almost nothing exists. The universe is like a cosmic web, delicate and strong, holding everything in place. Our local group is part of the Virgo Super, which contains tens of thousands of galaxies spread across 110 million light. And even that is just a small thread in an even larger structure called Leniakia, which means immeasurable heaven in Hawaiian. You live in immeasurable heaven. Let that thought settle over you. Soft and warm. Light from the farthest galaxies we can see has been traveling for over 13 billion years. We're seeing them as they were when the universe was young, not as they are now. They might not even exist anymore. Perhaps they've collided, transformed, or faded away, but their light remains traveling, reaching us. A message from the ancient past. Some of the most distant objects we can detect are quasars, supermassive black holes surrounded by brilliant accretion disks, shining with the light of trillions of stars. Quasars were more common in the early universe, when galaxies were still forming and colliding frequently. They're among the brightest objects ever known, visible across the entire observable universe. The light from a quasar can be so intense that it outshines the entire galaxy it lives in. Imagine a single point of light, brighter than 100 billion suns, blazing across billions of light, and yet, here in this moment, the only light you need is the soft glow of rest. Astronomers measure cosmic distances using a cosmic distance ladder, a series of methods, each building on the last. For nearby stars, we use parallax. For farther objects, we use the brightness of certain stars. For the farthest galaxies, we measure how much their light has been stretched by the expansion of the universe. It's a ladder reaching into infinity, rung by rung, patient and precise. You don't need to climb any ladders tonight. You don't need to reach anywhere or understand everything. Just be here, breathing, drifting, held by the quiet. Planets formed from the leftover dust and gas around young stars, gathering slowly over millions of years. Small grains stick together through static electricity and gentle collisions, growing into pebbles, then boulders, then planetesimals, then worlds. It's a slow accumulation of small things into something vast, like rest building into healing. The planets in our solar system are divided into two groups: the rocky inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Each world is unique, shaped by its distance from the sun, its composition, and the forces that formed it. Diversity is woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Every world, every star, every soul. Mercury, the closest planet to the sun, experiences extreme temperature swings. During the day, its surface can reach 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but at night, it drops to minus 290. It has almost no atmosphere to hold heat, so it swings between fire and ice. Even in extremes, balance exists. Day and night, heat and cold, rest and waking. Venus, often called Earth's twin because of its similar size, is covered in thick clouds of sulfuric acid and has a runaway greenhouse effect that makes its surface hotter than Mercury. It's a world of crushing pressure and scorching heat where lead would melt on the ground. But even harsh worlds have their beauty. From space, Venus glows like a pearl. Earth is the only planet we know of that harbors life, with liquid water on its surface, a protective atmosphere, and a magnetic field that shields us from solar radiation. It's a rare jewel, perfectly balanced, floating in the dark like a blue-green marble. You are part of that rarity, part of that balance. Rest in the knowledge that you belong here. Mars, the red planet, is cold and dry now, but it once had rivers, lakes, and perhaps even oceans. Scientists are still searching for signs of ancient life in the rocks and soil, wondering if Mars was once a second home for biology. Even in absence, there's the echo of what was, like memories, like dreams. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, a gas giant so massive that it could contain over 1,300 Earths. Its atmosphere swirls with storms, including the Great Red Spot, a hurricane larger than Earth that's been raging for at least 400 years. Even chaos can become stable. Even storms can last for centuries, spinning in their own strange peace. Jupiter's gravity acts as a shield for the inner solar system, deflecting comets and asteroids that might otherwise collide with Earth. It's a gentle giant, a protector, standing watch in the outer dark. You too are protected. Tonight, safe, held in the vast, turning system of things. Saturn is famous for its rings, vast, thin sheets of ice and rock stretching hundreds of thousands of miles into space, but only tens of meters thick in places. From a distance, they look solid, but they're made of countless individual particles, each in its own orbit. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are made of fragments held together by invisible forces. Let your mind drift like a particle in Saturn's rings, held, guided, part of something larger. You don't need to be awake. The story will carry on soft as starlight. Uranus rotates on its side, tilted at an angle of 98 degrees, likely due to a massive collision early in its history. This means its poles experience 42 years of continuous sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness. Even after trauma, the world keeps turning slowly, steadily, finding its rhythm again. Neptune, the farthest planet, is a cold, blue world with winds that reach 1,200 miles per hour, the fastest in the solar system. It's so far from the sun that it takes 165 Earth years to complete one orbit. Distance doesn't mean abandonment. Even Neptune is held by the sun's gravity, moving through its long, slow dance. Beyond Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt, a region filled with icy bodies and dwarf planets like Pluto, Haumea, and Makemake. These are the remnants of the solar system's formation, leftovers from the ancient disk of gas and dust. Even what's left behind has value. Even what's forgotten still exists, quietly, in the cold and dark. Pluto, once considered the ninth planet, is now classified as a dwarf planet. It's small, icy, and far from the sun, but it has 5 moons and a thin atmosphere that freezes and falls as snow when Pluto is farthest from the sun. Even small worlds have complexity. Even distant places have stories. Farther out still is the Oort cloud, a vast spherical shell of icy objects surrounding the solar system. It's so distant that it takes sunlight over a year to reach its inner edge. The comets that occasionally fall inward, lighting up our skies, come from this frozen reservoir. Even the farthest things can return. Even what's lost can find its way home. Thousands of planets have been discovered orbiting other stars, worlds of every kind imaginable. There are hot Jupiters, gas giants orbiting closer to their stars than Mercury is to the sun. There are super-Earths, rocky worlds larger and heavier than our own. There are ocean planets, lava worlds, ice giants, and planets that orbit 2 stars at once. Some exoplanets are tidally locked, meaning one side always faces their star, basking in eternal day, while the other side remains in endless night. On the boundary between, there's a narrow ring where conditions might be just right, a twilight zone where liquid water could exist. Even in extremes, there's a place of balance, a place of possibility. One planet, known as HD 189733b, likely experiences rain made of molten glass, blown sideways by winds of 5,400 miles per hour. Another, called 55 Concrete E, may have a surface partially covered in graphite and diamond. The universe is stranger and more wondrous than we ever imagined, and you are part of that strangeness, that wonder. Some planets orbit pulsars, dead stars spinning hundreds of times per second, sending out beams of radiation. These pulsar planets are bathed in harsh radiation, orbiting in the ruins of a star that exploded long ago. Even in the aftermath, new worlds exist. Even in endings, there is continuation. The universe will keep creating, keep turning, keep spinning out stories, even as you sleep. Rest now. Let the cosmos carry you. Water is common in the universe. It's been found in interstellar clouds, on comets, on moons, and even in the atmospheres of distant exoplanets. Wherever hydrogen and oxygen meet in the right conditions, water forms, a simple molecule that makes life possible. The same water in your body has cycled through Earth for billions of years. You've drunk from ancient rivers, from rain that fell on dinosaurs. Some moons in our solar system might harbor life. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is covered in a thick shell of ice, but beneath it lies a global ocean of liquid water, kept warm by tidal forces. Scientists believe that ocean could be home to microbial life, swimming in the dark beneath miles of ice. Life finds a way, even in the most unlikely places. Enceladus, a small moon of Saturn, has geysers that spray water vapor and ice particles into space from cracks in its icy surface. That water comes from a subsurface ocean, and it contains organic molecules, the building blocks of life. Tiny worlds can hold vast mysteries. Quiet places can harbor profound possibilities. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. It rains liquid methane, forming rivers and lakes on a surface colder than minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a strange, alien world, and yet it's hauntingly familiar. A landscape of lakes and rivers, just made of different substances. Even the unfamiliar can feel like home. Asteroids are the rocky remnants of the early solar system, most of them orbiting in a belt between Mars and Jupiter. They range from tiny pebbles to enormous worlds, hundreds of miles across. Some are solid rock. Others are loose piles of rubble held together only by their own weak gravity. Comets are icy bodies that spend most of their time in the outer solar system. But when they swing close to the sun, they heat up and release gas and dust, forming glowing tails that stretch millions of miles. Ancient cultures saw comets as omens, but they're simply travelers, wandering visitors from the cold edge of the solar system. Let them remind you that even wanderers have a place. Even travelers find their way. Meteorites, fragments of asteroids, or comets that survive the journey through Earth's atmosphere have been found containing amino acids the building blocks of proteins. Life's ingredients are scattered throughout space, delivered to young worlds by impacts. We are, in a very real sense, children of the cosmos, born from stardust, carried by every atom in your body was forged in a star. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe, all of it created in stellar furnaces. When those stars died, they scattered their elements into space, and eventually, some of those atoms came together to form you. You are the universe becoming aware of itself. The carbon in your cells was made in the cores of dying stars, fused from helium under immense heat and pressure. The gold in jewelry, the silver in coins. These were created in the violent collisions of neutron stars, spraying heavy elements into space. Even the rarest things are cosmic. Even the precious is stardust. You are stardust, resting now in the form of breath and thought and gentle stillness. Let the universe hold you. Let sleep find you if it wants to. For most of human history, people navigated by the stars. Sailors used constellations to guide them across oceans. Travelers in deserts followed the North Star. The sky was a map, a calendar, a clock, always there, always reliable. Even now, when we've lost touch with the stars, they're still there, guiding us home. Ancient cultures told stories about the stars, myths of gods, heroes, and animals placed in the sky. The Greeks saw Orion the hunter. The Polynesians saw a great canoe. The Lakota saw a buffalo. The same stars, different stories, all of them true in their own way. Constellations aren't real groupings of stars. They're patterns we see from Earth, but the stars themselves are at vastly different distances. The stars in Orion's belt, for example, are hundreds of light years apart in space, but the patterns are real to us. The connections we make matter, even if they're only in our minds. The North Star, Polaris, sits almost directly above Earth's North Pole, so it appears nearly stationary in the sky while all other stars seem to rotate around it. It's been a guiding light for millennia, a point of stability in a turning sky. Even in motion, there are still points. Even in change, there are anchors. The stars you see tonight are the same stars your ancestors saw, and the same stars that'll shine for generations to come. They connect past and future. They remind us that we're part of something continuous, something ancient, something enduring. You are part of that continuity. Your rest tonight is part of a pattern older than memory. Some stars are binary, two stars orbiting each other, locked in a gravitational dance. They circle each other for millions or billions of years, never alone, always held by each other's pull. You two are connected, held by invisible threads, part of a system, whether you feel it or not. Eclipses happen when one celestial body passes in front of another, when the moon blocks the sun, or the Earth's shadow falls on the moon. They're moments of alignment, rare and beautiful, when the cosmos lines up just right. Life is full of those moments too. Rare alignments, unexpected beauty. The moon has been Earth's companion for over 4 billion years, formed from debris after a Mars-sized object collided with the early Earth. It stabilizes our planet's tilt, creates tides, and lights the night. Even from violence, something gentle and constant can emerge. The far side of the moon, often mistakenly called the dark side, receives just as much sunlight as the near side. It's called far because we never see it from Earth. The moon is tidally locked, always showing us the same face. There are always hidden sides, always mysteries, and that's okay. Let the mysteries remain mysteries. Let the unknown stay unknown. All you need to do now is breathe, rest, and let the night hold you close. Gravity is the weakest of the 4 fundamental forces, and yet it shapes the universe at the largest scales. It's the gentle pull that holds galaxies together, that keeps planets in orbit, that makes stars shine. Even the softest forces, given time, can shape everything. Time itself behaves strangely near massive objects. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. Near a black hole, time can slow to a crawl. An hour, there might be years elsewhere. Time is flexible, patient. It bends, but it doesn't break. The speed of light, about 186,000 miles per second, is the cosmic speed limit. Nothing with mass can move faster, but light itself experiences no time. From a photon's perspective, the moment it's created and the moment it's absorbed are the same instant. Time is different for everyone. Your rest is timeless too. Space and time aren't separate. They're woven together into a single fabric called space. Massive objects bend this fabric, creating the effect we call gravity. You too are bending space-time, just a little with your presence. You matter. Literally, some scientists believe the universe might be infinite, extending forever in all directions, with no edge, no center, no boundary. If that's true, then somewhere out there, beyond the observable universe, there might be another you living another life. Infinity is big enough for everything, even the impossible. Others think the universe might be finite but unbounded, like the surface of a sphere, where you can travel forever without reaching an edge, eventually coming back to where you started. Either way, the universe is vast beyond comprehension, and you are here in this moment under these stars. We can only see about 13.8 billion light years in any direction, the observable universe, because light from farther away hasn't had time to reach us yet. But the universe is almost certainly much, much larger than what we can see. There's always more than we know, always more than we could imagine. The observable universe contains at least 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy contains billions or trillions of stars. Each star might have planets. The numbers are so large they lose, meaning, but the feeling remains, we are small, and the universe is vast, and somehow that's comforting. Despite all this vastness, the universe is mostly empty. The distances between stars are so great that if you shrank the sun to the size of a grain of sand, the nearest star would be 4 miles away. Emptiness isn't absence. It's space for things to be, space for things to move, space for light to travel. In the vastness, there is room for rest. In the emptiness, there is peace. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the universe cradle you. Some particles, like neutrinos, barely interact with matter at all. Trillions of them pass through your body every second, coming from the sun, from distant supernova, from the Big Bang itself. You are constantly bathed in invisible rivers of particles, never noticing, never touched. Presence doesn't always require contact. Connection doesn't always require touch. Radio waves from distant galaxies travel for billions of years to reach Earth, carrying information about the early universe. We point our radio telescopes at the sky and listen to the cosmos, decoding signals from the ancient past. The universe is always speaking, always sending messages. We just have to learn how to listen. Some stars pulsed with perfect regularity, dimming and brightening like cosmic met. Others flare unpredictably, releasing bursts of energy that ripple across space. The universe has rhythms, some steady, some wild, all part of the same grand composition. The longest wavelengths of light we can detect are radio waves stretching from millimeters to kilometers long. The shortest are gamma rays, smaller than an atom, carrying immense energy from the most violent events in the cosmos. All of it is light. All of it is the universe communicating in frequencies we can barely perceive. When galaxies collide, their stars rarely touch. Space between them is too vast. Instead, they pass through each other like ghosts, their shapes distorted by gravity, spiraling together over hundreds of millions of years until they merge into something new. Even collisions can be gentle. Even chaos unfolds slowly. Some galaxies have long tails of stars and gas, stretched out by gravitational interactions with neighbors. These tidal tails can stretch for hundreds of thousands of light years, like cosmic streamers trailing behind. We all carry traces of where we've been, of what's shaped us, of the forces that pulled at us, in the centers of some galaxies. Jets of material shoot out from near the black hole at nearly the speed of light, extending for millions of light years into intergalactic space. These jets are powered by magnetic fields twisted by the spinning black hole and its accretion disk. Even from the darkest places, light can emerge. Energy can flow outward. The Hubble Space Telescope once pointed at a seemingly empty patch of sky no bigger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. It stared for 10 days, gathering light, and revealed thousands of galaxies, entire island universes, each containing billions of stars. Everywhere we look, there's more. The universe doesn't believe in emptiness. Some of those distant galaxies appear warped and stretched, their light bent by the gravity of massive galaxy clusters between them and us. This effect, called gravitational lensing, turns clusters into natural telescopes, magnifying the most distant objects in the universe. Even obstacles can help us see farther. Even weight can focus light. The universe keeps revealing itself, layer after layer, wonder after wonder. But you don't need to witness it all tonight. Rest is its own kind of discovery. There are stars that have planets made of diamond, formed under extreme pressure in carbon-rich systems. There are planets where it rains rubies and sapphires, where the atmosphere condenses gemstones that fall like hail. The universe is more extravagant than any imagination, more generous with its beauty than we could ever ask. Some planets orbit so close to their stars that their atmospheres are stripped away, leaving behind molten surfaces or bare iron cores. Others drift far from any star, rogue planets wandering through interstellar space in eternal darkness. Every condition exists somewhere. Every possibility is realized. Brown dwarfs are objects too small to sustain hydrogen fusion like a star, but too large to be called planets. They're in between, dim, cool, slowly radiating away the heat from their formation over billions of years. Not everything fits into clear categories. Some things simply are what they are. White dwarfs eventually cool and fade, becoming black dwarfs, stellar remnants so cold they emit no light at all. But the universe isn't old enough yet for any black dwarfs to exist. Even the oldest white dwarfs are still glowing faintly. Some endings take longer than the age of everything. Red dwarf stars, the smallest and coolest true stars, burn their fuel so slowly that they can shine for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. The red dwarfs alive today will outlast everything. They'll be the last lights in the cosmos, burning quietly long after giants have died. Patience wins in the end. Steadiness outlasts brilliance. Some binary star systems are so close that material flows from one star to the other, creating a bridge of glowing gas between them. They're literally sharing themselves, feeding each other, bound together until the end. Connection sustains, giving nurture as both giver and receiver. When a white dwarf in a binary system accumulates enough material from its companion, it can explode in a type Ia supernova. These explosions are so consistent in brightness that astronomers use them as standard candles to measure cosmic distances. Even in destruction, there's precision. Even in endings, there's usefulness. Magnetars or neutron stars with magnetic fields a quadrillion times stronger than Earth's. These fields are so intense that they warp the atoms in the star's crust, causing starquakes that release bursts of X-rays and gamma rays. The universe contains forces beyond our comprehension. And still, we are here, safe, small, breathing. Some galaxies are starburst galaxies, forming new stars hundreds of times faster than the Milky Way. They blaze with the light of young, hot stars, consuming their gas reserves in cosmic blinks before settling into quieter old age. Youth is bright and brief. Maturity is calm and long. Both have their seasons change. Stars are born and die. And through it all, the universe keeps breathing, keeps turning. You can rest in that rhythm. You can trust it. Dust clouds in space aren't like dust on Earth. They're made of tiny grains of carbon, silicon, and ice, each smaller than a bacterium. These grains can stick together, building planets grain by grain over millions of years. Great things are built slowly, particle by particle, breath by breath, rest by rest. Some nebulae glow red from hydrogen, others blue from oxygen, and some shine with reflected starlight. Each color tells a story about temperature, chemistry, and the life cycle of stars. Even color has meaning. Even light carries information. Even beauty is a message. The pillars of creation, photographed by the Hubble telescope, are towering columns of gas and dust where new stars are being born. They're 7 light years tall, so vast that if you started at the bottom and traveled at the speed of light, it would take 7 years to reach the top. Imagine that scale, and then imagine yourself small and precious resting here. The material in those pillars is being slowly eaten away by radiation from nearby young stars. The pillars are being destroyed even as they create. Birth and death happening side by side, inseparable. All growth involves loss. All creation involves change. It's the way of things. Some nebulae are planetary nebulae, glowing shells of gas ejected by dying stars. They're called planetary only because early astronomers thought they looked like planets through their telescopes. They were actually the gentle exhalations of stars at the end of their lives, breathing their material back into space. The Ring Nebula is one such object, a delicate loop of gas surrounding a white dwarf. It looks like a cosmic smoke ring, perfectly circular, glowing softly in the dark. Even goodbyes can be beautiful. Even endings can shine. Globular clusters are dense spheres of hundreds of thousands of stars, all orbiting the centers of galaxies. They're ancient, some are nearly as old as the universe itself, containing only old red stars. They're like time capsules, preserving the early universe in their light. Open clusters, by contrast, are loose groups of young stars born together from the same cloud. Over time, they drift apart, scattering into the galaxy, but they remain related. Siblings separated by distance, but connected by origin. We all drift, we all scatter. But the connection remains. The Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, is an open cluster visible to the naked eye. Ancient cultures around the world told stories about these stars. 7 maidens, 7 birds, 7 seeds, the same stars, different stories, all reaching for meaning. Meaning is something we make. Stories are how we understand, and right now, the only story that matters is the one where you rest, safe, and whole. There are stars that orbit each other so quickly they complete a full orbit in less than an hour. They're so close that they nearly touch, distorted into egg shapes by each other's gravity. Ivani Ispidi. There's partnership, even in closeness, there's balance. Some stars are variable, changing in brightness over time. Some pulse regularly, swelling and shrinking like breathing. Others flare unpredictably or dim slowly as they age. Consistency isn't the only virtue. Change can be natural too. Keyfied variables are special. They pulse with a period that depends on their true brightness. By measuring how fast they pulsed, astronomers can calculate how bright they truly are, and therefore how far away. They're cosmic yardsticks, helping us measure the universe. The universe is expanding, and the farther away a galaxy is, the faster it's moving away from us. This doesn't mean we're at the center. Every point in space sees the same expansion. It's like dots on an inflating balloon, all moving apart from each other as the balloon grows. The expansion is speeding up, driven by dark energy. Billions of years from now, distant galaxies will have moved so far away that their light can no longer reach us. The universe will grow lonelier, quieter, until only our local group remains visible. But that's trillions of years away. For now, the sky is full. The stars are bright. The universe is young and filled with light. And you are here in this perfect moment where everything is still connected. Rest in that connection. Gravity waves ripple through space-time when massive objects accelerate like 2 black holes spiraling together. These ripples travel at the speed of light, stretching and squeezing space itself as they pass. We detected them for the first time in 2015, hearing the universe in a new way. The collision of 2 neutron stars releases a burst of gravitational waves, followed by light across the spectrum. It's a cosmic symphony. First, the deep bass note of gravity, then the full orchestra of electromagnetic radiation. The universe makes music. We're learning to hear it. Even your body creates gravitational waves, infinitesimally small ripples in space-time when you move. You're not separated from the cosmos. You're woven into its fabric, bending it with your presence, part of its constant motion. Even at rest, you matter. Even in stillness, you're connected. The cosmos includes you. Your breath is part of its breathing. Your rest is part of its cycles. Let go now. The universe will hold you. Some ancient photons from the cosmic microwave background have been traveling for 13.8 billion years. Never absorbed, never stopped. They fill the universe with a faint glow, a memory of the beginning, still present everywhere. The past is always with us. The beginning never truly ends. If you could see the cosmic microwave background with your eyes, the entire sky would glow faintly, uniformly, in every direction. It would be like being inside a softly lit sphere, surrounded by the oldest light. You are surrounded, even now, by ancient light, by the presence of the past, by continuity. The universe has no center and no edge, or rather, every point is the center, and there is no edge. Wherever you are, you're at the middle of everything. The cosmos expands equally in all directions from your perspective. You are central. You are significant. You are exactly where you should be. Some theoretical physicists wonder if our universe is one of many, part of a vast multiverse where every possible outcome occurs somewhere. If true, there are infinite versions of everything, playing out in parallel. But this version, this moment, this breath, this rest is yours, and it's enough. We don't know if the universe will expand forever or eventually collapse back in on itself. We don't know if time had a beginning or if something existed before the Big Bang. We don't know if we're alone or surrounded by life, and that's okay. Mystery is part of the beauty. Not knowing is part of the wonder. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need answers to rest. Let the questions float away like stars drifting in the current of expansion. Every culture that ever looked up at the sky felt the same wonder you feel now. The same questions, the same smallness, the same connection. You're part of an ancient lineage of stargazers, dreamers, wanderers under the night sky. The stars don't judge. They don't demand. They simply shine, patient and constant. They've watched empires rise and fall, mountains form and erode, species evolve and vanish, and through it all, they keep burning, keep glowing, keep offering their light. You can trust the stars to be there tomorrow night and the night after. And the night after that, they're not going anywhere. They'll wait for you as long as you need. Rest now, knowing they'll be there when you wake. If you're still awake, that's okay. If you're drifting, that's okay too. The universe doesn't mind. Just breathe, just be, just rest. Some stars are so old they were formed when the universe was young, ancient red giants that have witnessed billions of years. Others are newborns, only a few million years old, still surrounded by the disks of dust that formed them. All ages exist together, past and present, side by side in the sky. Light pollution hides most stars from view in cities, but they're still there, shining faithfully even when we can't see them. On a truly dark night, far from lights, you can see thousands of stars with your naked eye. What's hidden isn't gone. What's forgotten isn't lost. The Milky Way appears as a faint band across the sky in dark locations, our edge on view of our own galaxy's disk. You're looking at the combined light of billions of stars, so distant they blur together into a river of light. You're looking at home, at the vast structure you're part of. Ancient navigators called certain stars steering stars, bright, reliable points they could follow across ocean. They trusted those stars with their lives, and the stars never failed them. You too can trust in constants, in reliable lights, in things that endure. Some stars have been given beautiful names: Vega, Altair, Deneb-Betogesi, Rygo. Each name carries history, Arabic, Greek, Latin, layers of culture and meaning. Even stars carry stories. Even light has a history. Betelgeuse, the red supergiant in Orion's shoulder, might explode as a supernova any time in the next 100,000 years. When it does, it will briefly become as bright as the full moon, visible even during the day. Change is coming, always, but slowly, in its own time. For now, Betelgeuse still shines, red and steady, marking the shoulder of the hunter. It's been there in the same spot for all of human history, a reliable presence in winter skies. Even what's changing can feel constant. Even what's temporary can last lifetimes. Orion has been seen as a hunter in many cultures, a giant striding across the sky with his belt and sword. Others saw different shapes in the same stars. The meaning changes, but the pattern remains. We all see the world through our own lens, and that's okay. The three stars in Orion's belt, Alnatak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, are almost perfectly aligned, but they're not truly connected. They're hundreds of light years apart, only appearing close from our perspective. Perspective creates connection. The view from here matters. Your perspective matters. Your experience is real. And right now, your body needs rest. Let it come. Let yourself sink into the soft dark. Shooting stars aren't stars at all. They're tiny pieces of space rock and dust burning up in Earth's atmosphere. Most are smaller than a grain of sand, but they create bright streaks as they vaporized, giving us wishes to make. Even the smallest things can be beautiful in their moment. Even brief lights can be meaningful. During a meteor shower, Earth passes through the debris left by a comet, creating dozens or even hundreds of shooting stars per hour. It's like the universe showering us with light, a gift from an ancient trade. Gifts come when we least expect them. Beauty arrives unbidden. The aurora borealis, the northern lights, occur when charged particles from the sun interact with Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere. They create curtains of green, pink, and purple light that dance across polar skies. Even Earth glows. Even our planet participates in the cosmic light show. The sun constantly streams particles into space, the solar wind, creating a bubble called the heliosphere that surrounds the entire solar system. We live inside that bubble, protected, held in the embrace of our star. You are held always by forces larger than you can see. Voyager room launched in 1977, crossed the edge of the heliosphere in 2012, becoming the first human-made object to enter interstellar space. It's still sending back data, a tiny emissary carrying a golden record with sounds and images from Earth. Even our smallest creations can reach beyond us. Even our messages can outlast us. That golden record contains greetings in 55 languages, music from around the world, and images of life on Earth. It's a message to whoever might find it. We were here. We existed. We reached out. Connection is a fundamental need. Even across the void, we seek understanding. Voyager will wander through the galaxy for billions of years, long after Earth is gone, carrying our message into the deep future. It's a time capsule and a prayer sent into the dark with hope. What we send out matters. What we create endures. But you don't need to send anything out tonight. You don't need to create or reach or strive. Tonight, you can simply be, simply rest, simply exist, held by the same universe that holds Voyager. Rest is enough. You are enough. The International Space Station orbits Earth every 90 minutes, carrying astronauts who see 16 sunrises and sunsets every day. They float in microgravity, looking down at the blue marble of Earth below. Perspective forever changed. Sometimes distance gives us clarity. Sometimes we need to step back to see the whole. You steppy back. Now release the details. Let the big picture hold you. You're part of something beautiful, something vast, and you're exactly where you need to be. Earth seen from space has no borders, no divisions, just oceans, clouds, and land. All connected, all one. Astronauts often describe a profound shift in perspective called the overview effect, seeing how fragile and unified our world truly is. We're all on the same small world, all breathing the same air, all under the same stars. The famous pale blue dot photograph taken by Voyager 1 from 3.7 billion miles away shows Earth as a tiny speck in a beam of sunlight. Carl Sagan wrote about it beautifully. That's here. That's home. That's us. Everything you've ever known exists on that pale blue dot, and it's enough. It's everything. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, but humans have only existed for about 300,000 years. We're newcomers, latecomers, to a cosmos already ancient when we arrived, and yet we're here. We've arrived. We're part of the story now. Life on Earth has existed for about 3.5 billion years, but complex life, animals, plants, only emerged in the last 600 million years. For most of Earth's history, life was simple. Single cells, bacteria, quiet persistence. Complexity takes time, growth is slow. And that's okay. The oxygen you breathe was created by cyanobacteria billions of years ago. Tiny organisms that learned to photosynthesize. They transformed Earth's atmosphere, making it possible for complex life to evolve. Even the smallest beings can change worlds. Even invisible work matters. Trees, grass, and flowers all perform quiet photosynthesis, turning sunlight into sugar and releasing oxygen. They're solar-powered, using the same fusion energy that powers stars, just filtered through 93 million miles of space. First, everything is connected. Energy flows from stars to plants to you. Your body is mostly water, about 60%. And water is made from hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen from the Big Bang, oxygen from dying stars. You are literally made from the two most important events in cosmic history. You carry the universe inside you. You are a walking cosmos. Every breath you take contains atoms that were once breathed by every human who ever lived. Cleopatra, Shakespeare, your great-great-grandmother, you share air with all of them. We're all connected across time, all breathing together, all part of the same cycle. The atoms in your left hand might have come from a different star than the atoms in your right hand. You're a mosaic of stellar origins, a collection of fragments from across the galaxy. You contain multitudes. You are diverse, even at the atomic level. You are stardust and stories, atoms, and awareness. And tonight, all that you are needs rest. Let go. Let the universe reclaim you for a while. Sleep is a mystery we're still learning to understand. We spend a third of our lives asleep, yet we're not entirely sure why. What we do know, it's essential. It's when the brain consolidates memories, repairs cells, and processes emotions. Sleep is not laziness. It's maintenance. It's necessary. Dreams occur mostly during REM sleep, when the brain is almost as active as when you're awake. In dreams, you process experiences, work through emotions, and explore possibilities. Dreams are the mind's way of sifting through the day. Let them call me. Let them do their work. Some scientists think dreams evolved as a form of simulation. a safe way to practice responses to threats and rehearse social situations. Others think they're simply the brain's way of filing memories, and the narrative we experience is a side effect. Either way, they're yours. They're private. They're safe. You don't need to control your dreams or remember them or make sense of them. Just let them flow like clouds across an inner sky. The mind knows what it's doing. Trust the process. As you drift toward sleep, your brain waves slow down, shifting from beta, alert, to alpha, relaxed, to theta, drowsy. Eventually, you'll enter delta waves, deep, slow oscillations associated with the deepest, most restorative sleep. Your brain knows the way it's done this thousands of times. Let it guide you. Sleep happens in cycles, about 90 minutes each, moving through stages from light sleep to deep sleep to REM and back. You'll cycle through several times tonight, each one bringing rest and restoration. You don't need to manage it. Your body knows. Just relax and let it happen. Insomnia often comes from trying too hard to sleep, the pressure to fall asleep creating alertness that prevents it. The paradox is that sleep comes best when we stop chasing it, when we simply rest, allowing rather than forcing. You don't have to sleep. You just have to rest. The sleep will find you if it wants to. Even if you don't fall deeply asleep tonight, rest itself is healing. Lying quietly, breathing slowly, letting your body be still. All of it has value. There's no failure here. No wrong way to do this. Just rest. That's all. Just rest. Your heart has been beating your entire life without you consciously directing it about 100,000 times a day, 35 million times a year. Your lungs have been breathing. Your cells have been working, all without your control. Your body knows how to care for itself. Trust it now. Trust your body. Trust the darkness. Trust the quiet. The universe has carried you this far. It will carry you through the night. Billions of years ago, the atoms in your body were scattered across the cosmos. In stars, in nebulae, in the darkness between. Slowly, gravity gathered them. They found each other. They found their way to Earth, and eventually to you. You are the universe's way of gathering itself together, of knowing itself. And for a brief, beautiful moment, those atoms are conscious. They're aware. They're feeling this moment, this breath, this quiet. It won't last forever. Nothing does. But that makes it more precious, not less. You are a temporary miracle, and that's enough. When you're gone, those atoms will return to the world, to soil, to air, to water. They'll become part of other lives, other stories. They'll continue. Nothing is lost. Everything transforms. The cycle continues forever. But that's far in the future. Right now, you're here, alive, breathing, resting under the same stars that have watched the birth of Earth. Right now is all there is, and it's good. Just breath, just peace. The universe is old and vast and strange, full of wonders we're only beginning to understand. But it also contains this, a quiet moment, a soft breath, a person at rest. You are as much a part of the universe as any galaxy. Your rest is as cosmic as any star. There's nothing left to do tonight. No problems to solve. No worries to carry. The stars will keep shining. The earth will keep turning. The universe will keep expanding. And you can rest. You can let go. You can sleep. Feel the weight of your body sinking into comfort. Feel the rhythm of your breath, slow and steady. Feel the darkness around you, warm and safey, holding you like the universe holds galaxies. You are held. You are safe. You are home. Let the day drift away like a comet moving past the sun, bright for a moment, then fading into the dark, continuing its journey. Tomorrow will come, but for now, there's only this. Only rest. Only peace. Let go. Let sleep come. Let yourself drift among the stars. The universe is singing a lullaby in frequencies too low to hear. Gravitational waves, quantum fluctuations, the hum of distant pulsars. You can't hear it with your ears, but your body knows it. Your atoms remember. You're part of the song, part of the rhythm, part of the cosmic dance. The dance continues, whether you're awake or asleep. The song plays on. You can rest now. The universe will keep watch. Somewhere out there, a star is being born. Somewhere, a planet is forming. Somewhere, light is beginning a million-year journey. And here, in this small moment, you are resting. You are breathing. You are at peace. Both matter. Both are beautiful. Both are exactly as they should be. The cosmos doesn't demand anything of you tonight. It doesn't need you to understand it or conquer it or even stay awake for it. It simply offers itself vast and patient and invites you to rest in its presence. Accept the invitation. Let yourself be cradled by the universe. Stars are dying tonight. Stars are being born. Planets are spinning. Moons are arising. And you are here, breathing softly, held by the same forces that hold everything. You belong. You're part of it all. And you can rest. Feel the darkness like a blanket made of time itself. Soft, ancient, infinite. Feel yourself drifting, weightless, like dust floating in the light of a distant star. You are light. You are dust. You are ancient and new. You are rest itself. Let the words fade now. Let the thoughts dissolve. Let everything become soft and dim and distant. There's only breath, only darkness, only the gentle pool of sleep. The stars will keep watch. The universe will hold you. And you can finally rest. And so we come to the end of our journey tonight, though really there's no end. Just a pause, a moment of rest in the eternal turning of the cosmos. We've traveled together through the vast dark, touching on ancient light, distant worlds, the slow, patient rhythms of creation and destruction. We've remembered that you are stardust, that you belong to this universe, that your rest is as natural and necessary as the setting of suns. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for trusting this quiet space, for allowing yourself to drift among these cosmic whispers. If sleep has found you, you won't hear this. But if you're still with me, still listening, know that it's okay. Rest comes in its own time. There's no rush, no pressure. Just keep breathing, keep relaxing, and let the night unfold as it will. If you'd like to suggest a topic for a future journey, a planet, a phenomenon, a cosmic mystery, leave a comment below. And if these stories help you rest, consider subscribing so we can meet again tomorrow night under the same stars. But for now, let the universe hold you. Let the darkness comfort you. Let the ancient rhythm of the cosmos lull you into the deepest, most peaceful rest. The stars are watching. The galaxies are turning. And you are exactly where you need to be. Good night, friend. Sleep well. The universe is with you.